tell you alms. Verse 12, shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction. See? And that's why I say, that's why I said what I said, where the brother gave $1.75. And I was just as happy as could be because of the blessing that came with it, and the fact that, looking at it, what it is, that's what he could give. And the poor brothers give pennies and nickels and dimes and so forth, but people that have a little something, I don't have nothing to give, but they do. They sit there, I watch them, no, that's okay, no, I gotta give something, I gotta give something. And they reach in their pocket and they get pennies and dimes and nickels and quarters, and they have that. And give. Alms. That's why it tells you in Romans 10:2, well, we had a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Now, they don't know nothing about this. They probably have never heard this before. But they just do it naturally. It says, shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all afflictions. It's like I just read to you how they sold lands and houses, laid the prophets at the apostles' feet. Distribution was made as there was a need for our people. It says, verse 13, it shall fight for thee against thine enemies, better than a mighty shield and strong spear. You hear that? Gonna fight for us better than a strong spear and a shield. Better hear what he's saying. Most High is not a man he should lie. Proverbs 17:17. Proverbs 17:17. That's like gonna fight for you better than weapons of war. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Hear that? But a friend loveth at all times. A true friend loveth at all times. And a brother is born for adversity. I mean, you born in this world, you're going to catch hell. But it's okay. It's all right. As long as you endure to the end. Proverbs 18:24. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. Hear that? A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. Must show himself friendly. And there's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Hear that? There's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. You have a friend that's sticking closer to you than your own biological brother, man. That's Jonathan and David. So their love toward each other compares to love of women. And ain't talking about them laying with each other, nothing of that nature, just straight up. A man that has friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Because his brothers didn't like him. Just like Joseph, brothers didn't like him. And sold him to the Arabs, and they sold him to the Egyptians. But Pharaoh liked him. Perfect example. Closer than his brothers. His brothers sold him, they was gonna kill him. They went and told that lie to our forefather Jacob. Joseph was marred by a wild animal. Took his coat, put blood all over it, gave it to his father. Can you imagine that? All those years he had to suffer. And being sadness because he's thinking his son had been killed by a wild animal. They lied to him. It didn't come. It came to be that what Joseph dreamed, what he had dreamed about them giving obedience or obeisance to him, that ended up happening. And realizing that they lied to him, and his son is alive, and he's seeing his son, grown man. That's our story. Hebrews 10:22. We just about finished for this part of the lesson. Hebrews 10:22. Let us draw near with a true heart, true mind, in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. Let's hold fast our faith in our profession, our job that the Most High has called us to do without wavering. For he is faithful that promised. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. Hear that? Let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another. How you going to exhort one another if you all the time looking down on your brother? Exhorting one another, lifting your brother up. And so much the more as ye see the day approaching. See? Lift your brother up more as you see the day approaching. And that day is coming. Believe me, that day is on its way. All the things that we see now, you're looking at what this world is and how it is, as far as looking on us, what's in it for us. Look at Philippians 2. And I want you to read, go to Philippians 2nd chapter. Verse 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach Yahushua. So let this mind be in you, which was also in the Mashiach Yahushua. Right? Which he said in verse 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. Vainglory is, to me, is you trying to be somebody in hell. Vainglory. You lifting yourself up. Everybody that exalted himself shall be abased. Everyone that humbled himself shall be exalted. The words of Mashiach Yahushua, paraphrasing. He that exalted himself shall be abased. He that humbled himself shall be exalted. Let nothing be done through strife, you arguing all the time, or vainglory, trying to be somebody in hell. But in lowliness of mind, this is humility. Let each esteem other better than themselves. Can you do that? Lift your brother up instead of all the time tearing your brother down. Find a way, and it's not just you that's clicking either. Within your particular camp or your particular organization or group or club or whatever you call yourself. Besides, you don't call yourself the nation of Israel, so I got to use all these names because that's what I see and hear. We a nation of Israel. We the 12 tribes of Israel. A nation. We ain't no group. We ain't no organization. We ain't none of that. The nation of Israel is not. That's why it say, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Hear that? Lift somebody up better than yourself. Make them feel good about themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in the Mashiach Yahushua, who being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High. I mean, he was the son of the Most High. That's what it's talking about. But made himself of no reputation. What did it say? Verse 3, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. What did Mashiach Yahushua say? Let this mind be in you. It says what? Who being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in the fashion of a man, he humbled himself, and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross, the affliction that he had to go through, because he was hung on the tree. So he was obedient to the Most High, and he humbled himself. He told the Romans he could call down 12 legions of angels to destroy all of them. But did he do it? No. He had a mission that he came to fulfill. And he fulfilled it in dying for the 12 tribes of Israel. Romans 8 and 19. Romans 8 and 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High. The angels, everyone is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High, waiting on us to get ourselves together. Verse 28 to 30. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are the called according to his purpose, for whom he did foreknow. He also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son. That's why we got the mind of a Mashiach. It says that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Hear that? We could be the firstborn among many brothers. Most High will. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. So it was already predestinated that he would call us in this time, this day and time that we're living in now. Moreover, whom he predestinated, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. That's why I say the justified, the glorified, the sanctified. All these are the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. The called, the chosen. You hear that? So look at 1 Thessalonians 3 and 11. 1 Thessalonians 3 and 11. He made the whole world for our sake. First Thessalonians 3 and 11. Now the Most High himself and our Father and our Master of Mashiach Yahushai direct our way unto you. And the Most High make you to increase and abound in love one toward another. Hear that? Abound, be abundantly in love one toward another, loving each other, brothers. And toward all men, even as we do toward you, he said. Even as he do toward us. To the end, he may establish your hearts, your minds unblameable in holiness before the Most High, even our Father, at the coming of our Master in power, our Mashiach Yahushai, with all his saints. Hear that? In the end, we may be blameless before the Most High and established before the Most High, that we may be worthy, that our names will be written in the book of life. That's what it's all about. No more, no less. That's what this is all about. 2 Corinthians 13 and 11. 2 Corinthians 13 and 11. Second Corinthians 13 and 11. Finally, brethren, farewell. Be perfect. Be of good comfort. Be of one mind. Live in peace. And the Most High power of love and peace shall be with you. Romans 15 and 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime, we're reading about things that was written long before we came on this earth, were written for our learning. It was written, all this was written for our learning. That we through patience, which deal with time, and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, might have faith in the Most High, to fulfill all that we know is going to happen. That's why I leave you with this. Go to Matthew the 24th chapter. For all that's said and have been said for this particular section of brotherhood, Because I have another section of brotherhood. I have more scriptures on this, which I'll see how it goes. Might have to go into them too. Matthew 24 and 13. Well, let's read 12. And because iniquity, wickedness, don't let this be you that's rolling in wickedness. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, wickedness shall be plentiful in this earth. The love of many shall wax cold. So we done talking about the love of the brotherhood. Hopefully this don't fit you. After hearing all of this, you still gonna remain in a cold state of mind. It said, because iniquity shall abound, wickedness shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Hear that? The love of many shall wax cold. So that's what's being fulfilled. Seeing all the hatred and all the going back and forth and, that's going in the brotherhood, that's happening in the brotherhood. Say, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Rebuke that spirit. But he that endureth unto the end, according to thus say the Most High's words, we looking at brotherhood in these scriptures. Hopefully something touch you to bring about a change in your life. But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. But we ain't at the end yet. So you got opportunity. We all have an opportunity to repent and change and become a new creature, be born again into this truth. You don't remain the same. You got to grow in this. And as you hear all that's come out in brotherhood, hopefully it'll change you. And you don't fit into that because iniquity shall abound. The love of many shall wax cold. You're not just so cold-blooded that you can't really see what it is the Most High is telling us how we should be when he said in Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved. So he loved us. So are we not to love each other? And if you don't, then hey, you against the Most High. Don't be like Ezra though. Most High say, hey, you love Israel more than me? He said, go measure the weight of a flame. So you gotta love. Main thing is not hate our people. That's the main thing. So you don't fall into that trap of being dealt with the Most High. It's a fearful thing to fall into the Most High's hand. He said, hey, I'll melt you. And that's what the warning is, so that you can humble yourself and realize we all we have. It's like I started off, said we all we have. And it's going to be that way. And with that, I say shalom, and I'm out.